Hi, this is EnlightenmentANAVRIN. I wanted to kind of do a different video here. There's a lot of rant videos on YouTube, I know that. Ranting about places they have worked or things they hate or whatever, and so we're not just... People are just like, oh, you're just going to get online and be like, oh, I don't like this, blah, 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 here's my opinion. But I want to give a shout out. I want to start out with a shout out, because I'm cool like that, with Fantavision and Sega CD Universe. These two guys worked for GameStop at two different times. The Sega CD guy, I think he worked on like the PlayStation 2 time frame, and Fantavision worked on like the PlayStation 3 gen time frame. Here's things I want to confirm about all the horror stories that people complain about with GameStop. I live in Oklahoma City. This is how it is in Oklahoma City. Apparently this is how it is in other states as well, from coast to coast. Okay, so we're going to start this off with bad things, and then we're going to do good things. The reason I want to start off this video about GameStop is because that's somewhere I've never worked, and I've seen enough of these crazy videos, and I'm like, wow, I actually do agree with some of these guys. I would like to do it someplace I worked later, but we're going to save that for another video. Okay, pet peeves. There's going to be a billion of them. Bad ones. Number one. They can't find the disc in the sleeve. When you bring, this is PlayStation 2 time frame, when I was shopping there, when I was in high school, you used to be able to go up to the, bring the case, which is not have the game in it, because people would steal it, give it to the cashier turns around, opens the drawer, flips through all these paper sleeves of the discs, which I assume would be in alphabetical order. Maybe they're not, I don't know. I guess they're not. I was trying to buy Godzilla Save the Earth, which is one of my favorite games. They couldn't find the game. Couldn't find it. And I was just like, okay. And then I was buying another game, like Silent Hill or something, and then they found Silent Hill, and then they were like, oh, okay, here's Godzilla. But there's other instances they never found it. And the Godzilla that they had, of course, this is used, but I like buying them complete with the manual and everything, back when there was manuals. But the disc was really scratched. Granted, it still plays. I still have it to this day, but it's scratched. Number two of pet peeve is they will not sell games without a state ID or a parent that is present if the child is under 17. This is my story. This is the pretty large Oklahoma City GameStop. This is one of my favorite stores. It's huge. This is before ThinkGeek bought it and everything time frame. So you walk in there to get PlayStation 2 and Xbox and Wii, I think's what it was. Maybe like DS Lite or something. I don't know. The PSP as well. I went in there on my 17th birthday. I was in high school. I did not drive. My dad took me there, so he's in the store. He's over here looking at PS2 games. I find the games that I want with my money. On the day of my 17th birthday, I go up to the register, and they would not let me purchase them, because one of them was rated M for mature, which is supposed to be 18, or 17, whatever. And, so I was like, crap. So I showed them my student ID that says I'm in grade 12, and it shows a little picture of my face, and it has my name. And they're like, they won't accept that. It has to be a state ID. So I have to go over here and get my dad and be like, Daddy, hey, come over here, and can you buy me this game? Even though he knows from the beginning I've been playing all these games that were teen, like even Star Wars games. Rogue Squadron was rated teen. I grew up playing Shadow Man, as you guys probably know from this channel. That was rated as 17. Yeah, they will not sell you that. They said because the cashier could be posing as a police officer. I'm like, this isn't a liquor store or whatever, like they do with that 21 thing, but whatever. So number three. Whenever the Star Wars Battlefront for the PS4 very first came out, they had this awesome kiosk display thing that they built that was like a plastic cylinder on the front, cardboard, like, let's say it was cardboard, this much of it was cardboard, this much of it was plastic. It had the 3D cutout of the stormtrooper in it with the lava and all that, and the walkers and everything coming in the background, the snow speeders or whatever. And it was about 4 foot tall. I wanted that display. I was like, hey, can I buy this display off you guys? Or are you going to throw it away or whatever? And they're like, no, you can't buy it. Yes, we're going to throw it away at the first of the month. So, first of the month, I went to 2 different Gamestops and dumpster dove to see what was there. Nothing was there other than garbage. There wasn't a crunched version of it, of anything. I might have got some empty PS3 cases or something cool, but they never threw it away. So, pet peeve. They never actually throw away their stuff on the first. What am I on? Number 4. Pet peeve number 4. This is irregular and inconsistent pricing on the clearance items. I'm a collector of the Star Wars Black Series, and this is the time frame I'm specifically talking about when Rogue One very first came out, and they had the action figure of Jyn. I live like in between 2 different cities, so I go to hop back and forth different Gamestops. He was supposed to be $19.99, possibly $22.99, because GameStop's crazy and wants to up the price of Hasbro toys. One of the GameStops, she was $5 on clearance. One of the other GameStops, she was $10 on clearance. And I went to these at least twice a week just trying to find those toys. I wasn't even buying games at that point because I was like, screw GameStop, I hate this company. Power to your wallet, this company sucks, I'm just going to buy toys from them, especially GameStop exclusive Star Wars Black Series. So, I don't know what's going on there, unless they're just simply skipping the markdowns. I don't know, that's a complaint I haven't heard anybody else mention, but that's definitely one of them. Pet peeve number 5. They think that you don't know anything in the store. I understand they have to do, hi, welcome to GameStop. Can I help you find anything? But they kind of treat you like me, currently right now, I can shop the PS4 games, the PS3 games, the Wii games, the 3DS games, and the DS games. That's the consoles I have. I've also been pre-ordering some Switch games for when I get a Switch, because I like to have the games first before I get the console, because I'm weird like that. But because I looked at more than one console, they're like, I get that feeling that in their mind they're like, oh, you're a girl, you don't know that this disc goes to this console, this is the PlayStation, this is the blue one, this is the Xbox, this is the green one. That type of stuff. I'm not stupid, I'm not an old lady, I'm not coming in there. They did that to me at Game Exchange until they realized who I was, because there I was shopping over 5+ consoles of the retro cartridge consoles. Mostly, at that time, Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis was probably what I was jumping back and forth on. And a little bit of PlayStation 1. But I just get that vibe. Like, if it's a man that's my age, and it's me in there, my age, they're just like, you don't know anything. Are you sure you're in the right section? Yes, I'm in the right section. Yes, I know I'm buying a controller for the Wii, but I'm buying a PS4 game. Pet peeve number 6. They want to sell you the $3 protection plan for the disc or the cartridge or whatever, but do they actually give it to you, or do they just run it through the system? Pretty sure they give it to you. Pretty sure it doesn't really do anything unless you scratch up the disc. I'm not going to scratch up the disc. I don't see any point in buying that for peace of mind or whatever. Pet peeve on that. Okay, now we're going to positive. This is positive things. Things that other people, Fantavision, everybody have mentioned, but maybe this good instance didn't happen to them. I never really had like a homeboys shop or hang out at this GameStop or whatever. It wasn't like I was connected to any of them. I didn't go in there that much. But, number 1, positive, they do not hassle me. For the most part. They're not like, hey, can I help you find, hey. They never really did that. Maybe they're all getting written up by their boss, because they're not doing that, according to what Fantavision said, how they watch the cameras, or even if they don't watch the cameras, if he's making that up, then, they're at least going to be like, hey, you're supposed to go talk to the guests or the customers. Pet peeve number 6. They want to sell you the $3 protection plan for the disc or the cartridge or whatever, but do they actually give it to you, or do they just run it through the system? Pretty sure they give it to you. Pretty sure it doesn't really do anything unless you scratch up the disc. I'm not going to scratch up the disc. I don't see any point in buying that for peace of mind or whatever. Pet peeve on that. Okay, now we're going to positive. This is positive things. Things that other people, Fantavision, everybody have mentioned, but maybe this good instance didn't happen to them. I never really had like a homeboys shop or hang out at this GameStop or whatever. It wasn't like I was connected to any of them. I didn't go in there that much. But number one, positive, they do not hassle me. For the most part, they're not like, hey, can I help you find, hey. They never really did that. Maybe they're all getting written up by their boss because they're not doing that, according to what Fantavision said, how they watch the cameras, or even if they don't watch the cameras, if he's making that up, then they're at least going to be like, hey, you're supposed to go talk to the guests or the customers. Pet peeve number 6. They want to sell you the $3 protection plan for the disc or the cartridge or whatever, but do they actually give it to you, or do they just run it through the system? Pretty sure they give it to you. Pretty sure it doesn't really do anything unless you scratch up the disc. I'm not going to scratch up the disc. I don't see any point in buying that for peace of mind or whatever. Pet peeve on that. Okay, now we're going to positive. This is positive things. Things that other people, Fantavision, everybody have mentioned, but maybe this good instance didn't happen to them. I never really had like a homeboys shop or hang out at this GameStop or whatever. It wasn't like I was connected to any of them. I didn't go in there that much. But number one, positive, they do not hassle me. For the most part, they're not like, hey, can I help you find, hey. They never really did that. Maybe they're all getting written up by their boss because they're not doing that, according to what Fantavision said, how they watch the cameras, or even if they don't watch the cameras, if he's making that up, then they're at least going to be like, hey, you're supposed to go talk to the guests or the customers. But they don't really hassle me except for those 1 or 2 times about the not thinking that I don't know the product. Number 2, positive thing. The employees understand when I do not want a game because it's not complete. Number 1, the stupid GameStop case with the stupid anime characters and the generic printout. They've been doing that ever since I can remember. I'd be like, hey, you're looking through the drawer. Here's the disc. Hey, you got the manual in there? No, I don't have the manual in there. I don't want it. And they're like, okay, done deal. DS games and 3DS games. Oh, do you have the case or you just have the cartridge? Oh, we just have the cartridge. I don't want it. I've been looking for Okamiden for a long time. Still can't find, I can't even find it loose, but I definitely can't find it with the case. I just came across a complete copy of Super Princess Peach, which I haven't played yet. That's a DS game. I found that at Vintage Stock. Yes, Vintage Stock gets screwed over by Gamestops generic cases, because Vintage Stock's bin of cheap, under $5 junk and all that overstock, janky stuff is always no case, GameStop case, Blockbuster case, generic. So, positive. They understand. GameStop understands when it's not complete that I no longer want to purchase it. Positive thing number 3, this contradicts them not thinking that I know what I'm talking about. Positive. Once I do start knowing what I'm talking about, like when I'm talking about the Ezio Assassin's Creed trilogy, I was talking to one of the employees at GameStop and one of the guests in there. I was there by myself. I don't even know. They were talking about Assassin's Creed, and I was trying to jump in and correct them about stuff because I'm all like, well, actually, Ezio's in Italy, and it takes place in the such and such time for this, whatever, just me BSing, and they realize, hey, this because it's a bunch of sweaty nerd guys in the store, girl comes in there, girl actually knows things, girl becomes cool. Then they might try to hit on me, hopefully they don't. That's a story for another day. Luckily, that's never happened to GameStop. Anyway, they realize I can talk about things. Positive. Positive number 4. They don't care if you lost your membership card, you just give them your phone number. That's a simple one. Some places get mad you lose the card, but whatever, it's cool. Recently, after my giant hiatus of banning lamestop power to your wallet, I actually went in there and broke down for reasons, which I might get into, and got one of the pro membership cards for like the 40 or 50 a year or whatever, so you can pay the pro price on everything and you can build up the points. Basically, I already had like 3,000 points, and I need like 4,000 points to get $5 off a pre-owned thing, or $5 off the toys or whatever, because I was already like right there, and I might as well just do that. Plus, I want to get a PlayStation 4 Pro, so it'll be a terabyte hard drive, and I can get the cool God of War one because it looks cool, and I can use my existing PS4 to trade to get that, and I get more trade credit if you go on the good trade credit day. They just raised the trade credit thing today, so I might do that soon so I can get a large, instead of having a 500 gig, I can get a 1 terabyte PlayStation for like $120 because of the trade value, instead of just going and paying $200 for a external hard drive, because I have like, I don't know, a stack of like 10, 15 games, and it's pretty much the hard drive's full. Pretty much the hard drive's full. Number one complaint, PS4. Wii U's kind of like that too, even though I only play like 3-4 games on it. But that was another issue that people had on that, but you can just put a flash drive in it or whatever. Anyway, that was my rant about GameStop. Next video, let me know if you guys want to hear. I want to give you guys my personal experience, because I've never seen anybody else on YouTube do this. My 2+ years, 2 years and a little bit more of working at Route 21 in Oklahoma City, in the outlet mall. It's horrible. It's awesome. It's the best job I worked. Some of it's the worst job I ever worked. Retail's crazy. I kind of wish I could get back into that crazy retail like it was. I'm going to keep everybody's names anonymous. That's for sure. I'm still friends with a lot of people. Made some friends there. Made some enemies there. Mostly friends. It was a really cool store, but I definitely want to tell you guys my pros and cons of working there, mixed with just crazy employees and crazy customers from what I remember, and just being in the outlet mall around Black Friday and Christmas time and all that type of stuff. So let me know. Rate, subscribe. I will see you guys later.